Oh, oops. There you go. Hello YouTube here, it's Lisa State of the YouTube channels Lisa State and Hitler Obsessed. Coming to you here to continue with part I think 21 of the lecture series on Adolf Hitler's life and death. I wanted to start off with talking a bit about the Nazi propaganda, I think, and was one of the things there. Now, how that really worked was, you had to just convince people to do stuff, and you vote for Hitler. So think of it like probably the best example would be around 4 years, everybody goes insane and shares their politics and tries to get you to vote for their party, not the other guys. But the Nazis used also terror tactics and stuff. Think of the year 2016, where some people used terror tactics and didn't go the best. Especially for the guys that were wanting their opponent to win, the other guy won. So yet again, that's pretty much what the Nazis did. They made sure to try to get you to vote for Hitler first in Hitler's political campaign. Then they would, once Hitler got into power, it was made sure there was just mandatory shoved down your throat how great the Führer was and to save Germany. And Hitler would do these different campaigns, like road building projects of the Autobahn and stuff, to build stuff, the buildings, architectural and stuff of the Third Reich. If you've seen stuff like the stadium of the Nazi rallies there, he made everything big and grandiose so that, you saw the power and the might of the Third Reich. I focus any more on that lump on my head from Christopher Blackman. What kind of people smash my face into the ground on Labor Day? Okay, back to what I was saying about the Third Reich. But Adolf Hitler would use also, building projects. He did give the People's Call and the People's Radio. So, in other words, to kind of making people to like him. He did give the radio part, so that they always only listen to the stuff that Hitler approved of Germany listening to. Instead of, what Hitler would consider enemy propaganda or whatever, which was anything but him. Or communist or whatever. Anything that was insulting to him as a person. Or him as the fuel. So, Adolf Hitler also would, but he did make the Volkswagen, I remember, to not end up becoming a thing until after the war, after he died, because he wanted to make sure people bought this thing, hoping to get the People's Call, but in the end he would just build more tanks, or bomber planes, or artillery, or whatever. Or ammo there, for his war that he was planning, because he would secretly have stockpiled up different factories that would make different things. Probably like cars, maybe appliances or whatever. They're also making military weaponry. They also train people in different drills like the labor front, which would be also another thing Hitler would use to make to have people train in different tactics like mulching and drills, and they would march around with these spades. Kind of like the military. This was for training that he would do undercover for building up the military without anyone knowing, because in the Versailles Treaty, Germany couldn't have a large army. They couldn't do that kind of stuff. To hopefully prevent another Second World War from happening. But Hitler would find ways, little loopholes that you could drive a pencil right through. Little big loopholes, and he found them, and he went undercover. So, under the radar to achieve his goals. Not the good thing. Somebody that you probably never want in your office to do that stuff. No honor in his life. But Hitler would end up also definitely having other forms of propaganda. He would use film. I brought up the Leni Riefenstahl, I think, the Triumph of the Will. It's one of the classics of film for obvious reasons. Supposedly because it uses a lot of the way to persuade people. It's one of the best examples, I guess you could think of, like propaganda. Nowadays, you could watch it and think, how on earth did people watch this and persuade and support Hitler? At all. And Hitler would make sure that Hitler would have, in his day, that was normal. That no one probably would have seen that and thought, oh yeah, this is bull number 2. They would have saw it and thought, well, this is the latest stuff, this is the best quality, 5-star, blockbuster, 2 thumbs up, let's go support Hitler. And that's what they would do. You have to keep track of time too here. So again, Hitler would make sure that also people would be funneled all this stuff about how the Jews were evil and the problem. And this stuff really got so insane with those theories and stuff. If you want to watch Jojo Rabbit, they have the best description out there of how the Nazis thought and thunk around, things like the Jewish people. And the anti-Semitism, racism and stuff, Which, probably best scene is, the scene where you have the Hitler Youth kids before they burn books, the little school setting where you have the Hitler Youth female leader teaching the kids about how the Jews were evil and they're answering questions, and just, I swear, it looks more like spitballing, but they're giving a good example to show the insanity of the Nazis and how they viewed the Jewish people. And probably best example is out using real world references about Jewish people in the Third Reich, their anti-Semitism. But, made up kind of scenarios and ideas, but to give the whole understanding, I guess, though. But another thing is Hitler would propagandize, how great the military is and how terrible Germany was before. And people bought into this stuff. They would think Adolf Hitler was... notification. They would think that Adolf Hitler was pretty much just the godsend savior of Germany. And they would think he was just wonderful. There would be crazy moments where in this cult of the Fuhrer that you would have people that would send Hitler letters where they would claim the dog knew Hitler was and spoke that Hitler was the Fuhrer and I guess German. So, the crazy scenarios. This thing went off the Richter scale, and Hitler thought this stuff is going insane. Even he tried to call it out what it was. But another, I guess, little thing is the Nazis would also give us a television broadcast. The first television broadcast was Adolf Hitler and Goebbels' opening speeches in 1936 Berlin Olympics. So, Adolf Hitler would use a lot of that tactic in the craziest scenarios there. Probably the best scenario I can give of like the close enough thing, because a lot of people do organizations try to sell you stuff like probably the close enough, most watered down, harmless version of propaganda is your ad breaks, commercial breaks. Heck, even me telling you to like and subscribe versus everyone else. I might not put out no stuff saying, oh, well, don't like this guy because he's terrible, but I'm persuading you. I don't know what you would get out of propaganda from me about like me, subscribe. But, you know, it pretty much turns up there. The Nazis were the ones that did the worst. I think everybody does this when you want to persuade someone. As one of my family members would say, if you can't baffle them with facts, baffle them with BS. It was from his old job back in working at his Jayco Electronics in Australia. I don't want to mention this person's name in my family for confidential reasons, you know, protection of personnel. But I remember mention his quote there. So. But okay, so this is the end of part 21, and I will go on to do part 22 of the life and death of Adolf Hitler. This is Lisa Stayed here, making sure to crash and burn as a very terrible version of Joseph Goebbels, telling you to like and subscribe to these videos. Subscribe to my channels of Lisa Stayed and Hitler Obsessed. Hit the notification bell, set it to all, and share these videos. And donate to my Patreon, my subscribe stall, my Facebook page, Lisa Stayed. And visit my Facebook page and send me a friend request or message there on my Facebook page or my Facebook Messenger at Lisa Stayed. Or do both if you want. Leave me a comment on these videos. You can go to my BitChute.com channel at BitChute.com. That's Lisa Me Stayed, all one word. And bye now.